welcome back. We are finally live. Hello everyone, welcome back. Finally, we are live on day 33 of the 100 days of Hello everyone, welcome back. Hello everyone, we are finally live on day 33 of the 100 days of UI Design challenge. And this is going to be a really special episode because we're doing this after such a long time, and also we're going to cover a complete restaurant website, which is such a dream portfolio project, especially if you're just starting out with UI design. So without any further ado, let's just get into what we're going to be designing today. Let me just pull up a quick demo of what we're going to be designing today, and this is going to be one of the most fabulous builds we've ever done in a while. This is going to be what we're making today. This is a wonderful UI design. It is the complete website that we're making today. It is a taco restaurant website, and it just has the bright, amazing pop of orange, the circles, and the whole ambience and UI that you would want in any new UI design project. This is just the whole 9 yards. Pallavi says hi. Hello Pallavi, welcome back. I do plan on coming live every single day now, which is awesome again. Let's just keep on going with what we're designing today. So this is a little bit on what we're designing today, and also we have the mission statement, obviously very vibrant, very fun. We also have this section, which is a divided section talking about the image and also the description of what we're talking about. Super duper fun stuff. I am so excited to finally be live again and talk about all of this cool crazy UI design stuff. This is going to be one of the most amazing episodes we've done in a while, especially because of how much color we have for this UI design. Just check this out. Like, how can you not make this? This is awesome stuff. Again, all sorts of colors that we have in the image are over here in the recipes section. Pallavi is very excited, as am I. Let's just get to the most exciting part of everything we do on this channel. Again, there is testimonials as well of the users, and again, chef's kiss on everything that we're designing. Super duper fun stuff. You can sign up over here, which is awesome, because Google sign-in is something that UI designers usually struggle with, because this is so standardized at this point, and yet you're sort of confused with how many options of sign-in you have to give. Should you sign in with Google? Should you enter your email and all sorts of stuff? So that is definitely something I want to cover today. And also the most exciting part is this simple looking footer, which is quite nice because footers are usually so detailed nowadays, talking about your address, your contact info, your brand name, all of the important links that you're going to be doing, as well as your copyright notices, privacy policy, terms of service. And it's so easy to just ignore all of these things at once and not understand what you're doing. So this is going to be the UI that we're building out today. In case you want the images for all of these, they are available to us in our Discord group. If you are not yet joined there, the first pinned comment in the live chat has links to our Discord group. You can just join in, and you will find the link to all of these images that we're using today in a separate Google Drive folder. Let's just jump right in. So I'm just going to go to the Google Drive folder and download everything, and we can get started. Say hi in the chat, everybody. It's so nice to be live after such a long time. In fact, I wanted to go live for quite a while now, but unforeseen circumstances, what can you do? Alright, and now we've downloaded all of the images inside of our folder. Let's go back to Figma. If you don't yet have Figma, what are you doing? Go to figma.com/downloads on the official Figma website, download Figma, it's completely free. click on plus to create a new design file, and that is going to create for you a completely new design file. Alright, so this is our UI that we're building out today. This is just here for reference in case we want to take a look at the final thing that we're building out. Let's just get started. Alright, so the very first thing you're going to do is create a new frame, click on F, and just click in the center. That should be fine for now. And now we're going to physically resize this. Since this time we're taking a little bit of a different approach, since we're building out for vertical tablets, we're going to do 1280 by 720. This is a new version of pixel variations. It is still the 16:9 ratio, but I do want to get started on different ratios, so we're doing 1280 by 720, which is the new tablet ratio. And also we have a wonderful Android tablet here in Figma to give us all of these wonderful demos of everything we're building out, which is fun stuff. Let's just get started. The very first thing I want to take care of is our navigation bar. So there are a couple of things right off the bat that I want you to notice. The first thing is the navigation bar is divided into 3 sections. So you have the name of the brand, and you also have all of the links and all of the social media handles. So this is going to be the sort of mental model that we're using while making this navigation bar. Let's just get started. The fonts that we're using today are very simple. It's just Playfair Display, which is awesome if you're looking for a cool serif font to get started quickly, and Lato, which is super duper nice as a sans serif font. Lato, Inter, Open Sans, just the best fonts ever. Let's just get started. So the very first thing that we're going to do is pull out all of these beautiful links. I want to change my font to Lato, Lato, and now we're going to do home, about, and also menu. So these are the 3 links that we're doing about the restaurant. This is the side that we're talking about the restaurant. We're also going to have a logo of the restaurant, the name as well, and then on the right side we're going to include the social media handles. So this is the contact me section. Alright, let's just go back, take all of these, select all of them, sort of align them perfectly, right click, group them together, and this is going to create a wonderful little group for us. Click on layout plus. This is going to generate a new layout for us, and also try to adjust this spacing just so you can have a comfortable place to work with. So the current font size that I like is 12. This is Lato 12 and 12 pixels, and I think this looks fine. So the other spacing number that I'm using here is 26, which is the auto layout internal spacings number. So we're just going to place it right over here, just so you can find a place where you're happy with things. We're also going to get one other copy of this exact frame just so we can have the social media handles. But before I do that, I think the current font size looks too small, which is why I'm going to increase it. Again, this is something you don't internally know before you're starting, and it's just something you figure out on the journey, which is why this is so fun. Let's just increase the spacing a little bit more. 40 looks fine, and we're going to copy and paste this section one more time, place it on the opposite end. Again, now we're going to do something fun. We're going to take both of these frames and group them together. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want to go to the ultimate depths of everything you can do with auto layout today. So we're going to create an auto layout with these 2 frames. And now that we have all of these, auto layout can truly start to benefit us. So we're just going to click on this button, and that's going to center it automatically in the entire frame. And this is why it's so great. You're creating one single frame which has both of these sections. Alright, now we're going to have one last section inside of this frame, which is our main name and logo of the brand. So the name of the brand is Taco Haven. Let's just type that out really quickly. TACOHAVEN, and change the font to bold. Again, we're going to use an orange for Haven. You can choose any color of any shade of orange you like. Let's just get any shade of orange that we're happy with. This looks good, and we're going to increase the font size just so it looks a little bit more prompt on our face. Let's do 22, and this fixes everything for us. And now we're going to place it exactly in the center. Now before I place Taco Haven inside of my main frame, I want to take a moment to think about my logo, because if my logo is figured out, it it's going to be in one single group with my title, and so things aren't going to go too awry. So I'm just going to go right here on the resources button, search for Iconify. If you have already worked with Iconify, it's going to be available in your recent section, which is great news. And I'm going to search for taco. Nothing too complicated. I don't want to make you think 1,000 times about a simple taco, which is why we're just doing this simple taco. Raj asks, which day is today? This is day 33. And finally, we get to go live every single day again. Let's just reduce the thickness by a whole lot. Change this to 4. Change this to 4. And let's just scale down. Again, there isn't any specified order or specific logo which you definitely have to make, but these just prove to be easy. Kiwi says 500 subscribers soon. Yes, 500 subscribers very, very soon. And I also have a couple of special things planned for 500. Again, it's so great to be back again. So great to see familiar names. Super duper cool. Again, we're going to change the color of our stroke to orange. Great stuff. And now this is our final group, which has the taco name and logo. So we're just going to group this together and just throw it inside of our frame. And with that, we have a very, very nice centered taco haven frame. And I just want to make sure that everything here is perfectly centered as well. I'm going to go to this group, change it to a frame, because frame gives you a lot more ease and flexibility when you're making auto layouts. So frames for auto layouts, and we're going to create an auto layout. The reason I did that is because without an auto layout, this taco was sort of hanging below and we would have to manually center it. But if you add a simple auto layout, everything just perfectly centers on its own, which is great news. So now we have a perfectly working navigation bar with us. The only thing I need to make sure of is I have the social media handles and everything working right. So let's do @taco shop family. In fact, I think I got them wrong. Home menu and our family. Home, let's do our family first. And also @taco haven family. About us. And what else? Let's do contact. Say hi in the chat, you guys. This is so nice being back after such a long time, and I finally plan on being live every single day once again. Let's just now think about the most egregiously amazing, awesome part of this whole hero section, which is this circular, beautiful image. And we're going to import the image that we've downloaded from our Discord group. If you haven't joined the Discord group yet, what are you doing? It linked in the first live chat, and we're just going to go to the folder which we just downloaded. Hold on a minute. I'm just going to get my circle frame image right inside, and this is going to be the main, most important section for our hero section. This is an unconventional layout to our hero section, and I'm quite excited about this whole thing working out. Let's make 5 different circles and sort of try to align them as good as we can. Again, it isn't really important that you make them exactly where I've placed them. You can place them anywhere you like, but these are good positions. Let's just make sure the width is equal to the height. That is the rule of making circles, isn't it? And we're going to make sure we change the fill to a light shade of orange. Yay! This has a perfect light shade of orange. Again, you can go ahead and choose any color that you like from inside of this, and that would be completely fine as well. As long as these colors have something to do with what's going on inside the image, you should be safe. There isn't any necessary requirement on colors exactly being one way or the other. And we're going to get a couple other circles as well. This is a very abstract form of of making hero sections, and I want to do a couple of videos about hero sections only as well, because that seems to be a hot topic currently. If you guys know of any hot topics in UI design currently, leave them in the chat, because I want to catch up on so much stuff that I've just missed out on because of a lot of different things that were going on, a lot of things that are special to this channel as well. So if you guys have any requests or ideas on anything we need to make in the future, just leave them in the chat. Let's just make this lighter and a couple more circles. There isn't necessarily an order or right way to do this. It's just wherever you place things, wherever things work well. Let's change this to a bright shade of orange. Make it a little bit lighter. Make sure for the circles that are completely visible, they are actually equal in width and height. It doesn't even matter if it's partially visible, because it's easy to confuse the circle being cut off and stuff. But if your circle is visible, make sure to be sure. Alright, now we have our beautiful hero section layout ready. You can work with this on your own, and this is the beauty of it. If you move these circles around, it is always going to give you one more abstract variation of these whole circles, which you're going to absolutely fall in love with, which is awesome news. Alright, the next part we're making out is the join the taco haven section, which is our main hero section text. Let's do play fair display for this. Join the taco haven. Join the taco haven. Oh, oops, I cannot spell. The font size is going to be 72, and this is going to be play fair display in its thickest setting, black. Play fair display black. Yay! Play fair display black. Alright, now we're going to resize this back again. Bring this down in thickness and make sure everything looks good. Just put this anywhere you like. Add an exclamation mark, because why not? We are excited after all. And also we're going to add a description section. I don't want to waste a lot of time in typing, so I'm just going to either get lorem ipsum text or copy it off of somewhere. You know what? Let me just get lorem ipsum text, because it has been a while. Lorem ipsum by div riots, because why not? I'm just going to type something out, otherwise text box seem to disappear in Figma. And we're going to change this to 3 sentences. Generate. Potter ipsum is the setting that we generated it in. Let's change the font to Lato. And change the font to Lato regular, and the font size has to go to 16. Let's make sure our line height is set to auto. And also we're going to make sure our text is sort of gray, which is actually, this is so counterintuitive. You might think you want only black or white for text, but gray sometimes provides the much needed relief from all of this bright and flashy contrasted colors, and it's just the most welcome change at times. I do want to make sure I add 2 emojis over here, so I'm just going to click on Windows plus full stop if you're looking for those, taco, and also fire, because why not? F-I-R-E, oops, F-I-R-E, adding a fire, and now we have this beautiful description text with us. And now we're going to do the most important thing ever, add a call to action button, which we haven't yet added. This is going to be so fun, because why not? Just take some text, copy it. This is the simplest way to make a button, by the way. Copy it and paste it right here. By now, what text should we add over here? Let's add get started. Get started. Alright, and now we're just going to make sure this is taking up exactly the exact amount of space that the text is. Right click, frame selection, add an auto layout, add padding on both sides, and make sure the fill is set to the brightest shade of orange that we have for this color palette. Also, we're going to change the font color to white and just make it a little bit thicker. Go with Lato bold, and also add a little bit of a border radius. Look at me, not knowing how to speak. A delight. Let's add this right here. All right. We're reducing the line height again, adding some line height over here just because I feel like it needs a lot of space. This works good. And now we're going to group all of these together just so we can truly get some of the advantages of auto layout. You know what? Let's not group them together. This looks good too. This looks even better. All right. Now we have these ready for us, and our hero section is finally done. The next thing that we're doing is actually quite simple. Now we're talking about our mission section. Let's go right here, go to our frame, increase this height for the frame, and make the mission section. So we're just going to create a frame that's just the full width, add a fill, change the color to orange, and add a section which is called our mission. Let's get started. And I just want to recycle as much as I can, just so this gets done a whole lot quicker and saves energy. So I'm just going to copy and paste our title from before. And again, this is quite important. You want to make sure the first title for your main hero section is just a little bit bigger than all of your other titles. So all of these are going to go at 64, and actually I think this one is running at 72 for some reason, but anyways, the main hero section has to have a 72 pixel font size, and then all of the others can have 64. So this does show that the first section is the most important one right off the bat when the viewer enters your site. Alright, the next thing that we're going to take care of is our mission. Most things remain same, but we just have to make sure the font size is set to 64, and also we're going to add a mission section. So we're just going to make sure this takes up the exact same amount of space. Auto width, center line everything, place this below, copy and paste our text. And now we're just going to get our mission text. So let me just get what the mission text is. To bring the vibrant flavors of, let me just type this out really quick, because it just seems way too important to not type out, just to fill with lorem ipsum text. To bring, what does it say? To bring the vibrant flavors, to bring the vibrant flavors of our heritage to every table of our heritage to every table. Creating a warm and welcoming dining experience for families. This seems like a poem. Creating a warm and, what did it say? Did it say wealthy? No, welcoming. Welcoming dining experience for families. How nice. Alright, and now we're just going to make sure this is set to a smaller font size. I believe 24 should be good. Change the font family to Lato. Change the font color to white. And bring this down to regular. Why is this not Lato yet? Let's do Lato. Alright, now we're going to reduce the width. Change this to auto, just so it takes up as much space as it needs to. And change the font size to just be a little bit bigger. 32 looks cool. 32 looks cool. Make sure to center align everything. It's quite important. Let's center align this guy. Put this right here. Group them together just so we can have a better idea of everything just being center aligned perfectly. Is it just me, or did Figma start generating crazy big frame numbers for any frame that we pick? Like frame these frame numbers used to say 1 2 3. Now they're saying 1 3 2 1 3 1 4. Just some weird long number. This is quite weird, and I've noticed this recently. Alright, now we're just going to make sure this is perfectly aligned in the center. And before we go to our third section, can we just take a moment to appreciate the fact that we've done 2 different sections? This is so cool. Alright, so the first section is cool, second section is even better, and now we're talking about the third section. This is very similar to our hero section in a lot of ways, and we're just going to take a lot of inspiration and copy a lot of stuff from our hero section now. Let's just go back, and now we're building out this section, taste the tradition. I think this is quite easy to build, especially considering everything that we've done. And also, I'm liking the wide buttons that we've built out for our example. I'm just going to go ahead and sort of copy them along. Let's just make everything wide and fit perfectly. This looks cool. Let's just do this. And now let's just also make sure this is grouped together in one single group as a single component. Let's just click on Shift, select all of these, group them together, Control G, and now we're just going to copy and paste them back here. This section is going to have an image on this side and text on this side. Let's change the text. And this is just some text. You can change this if you like, but it really doesn't matter, so I'm just not going to. Now I'm going to import the image that we're using on this side, but before we do that, let's increase the height of the frame so it can accommodate all of the different things that we're going to be doing from now on. And now we're going to go to this button, select an image, and get one of these 2 images. It really doesn't even matter which image it is. I'm just going to get this one. Take the image. The greatest thing about these images is that they've just been resized to fit your screen perfectly, so you don't have to worry about spacing issues at all. We're going to go to this group, change this group into a frame just so we can access all of the cool perks of auto layout, and increase the spacing that is between all of these buttons a little bit. This looks better. This definitely looks better. I want to switch back to a group now because I want to increase the spacing that these 2 have. So you can just do that very easily. If you're in a group, it gives you a lot more flexibility. And now we're going to get started with our colors. So we're switching out the colors on this one. I've said this before many times. If things get boring, make sure to switch out the colors. So I think that's the policy that we're following over here. Let's create a frame to accommodate both of these sections. Bring this right over here, and inside of this frame, I'm just going to take this box, taste of tradition. Where did you go? Place it right here. You know what? Let me just take the whole group. I'll take this whole group. Does anyone else have Figma generating all of these weird frame numbers recently? Because that has been happening with me, and I'm a little bit surprised at why. But I feel like this is such a small issue, we can just ignore it. Like, it just says frame 132, 1321, which is crazy because it used to say frame 46 in the olden days. Let's just change the background color to black and change the foreground color to, you know what? No. I'm just going to change the color, add a fill for our frame and give it a color of black. You know what? Instead of black, let's do 101010. That is a much better shade as far as black is concerned. And let's switch this to white because why not? And we're also going to change the color of our description text to white because it gives us great visibility on black. I feel like the color that we used is even lighter than 1010, so I'm just going to keep on graying it out until we're happy with what we have. I think this looks quite good. The next thing that we're taking care of is our second section, which is this one, the one for family recipes, which I do reckon is going to be quite fun. It is the polar opposite of what we built over here. So we're just going to copy this frame and paste this guy right here again. Oops, what the hell happened? It just went out of frame. It just decided to have a party. Alright, I want to sort of swap these out in terms of position, and there is a very cool way of doing that, which I just discovered recently. I feel like in the world of auto layout, you're always discovering something new, and it's always so fun. Let's add an auto layout just because why not? You know what, let me just create a new frame just so everything is easy to work with. I'm just going to create a new frame which is going to have, which frame are we in? We are over here. So we're just going to create a new frame which is going to house this group, and the reason I'm doing that is so that this becomes equal to this in height and weight, and now we can very easily add an auto layout. And check out, this is the cool stuff, you guys. This is the magic. You can just shift this around, and with that ease it just switches your direction. Like, how cool is that? And you don't have to worry about your spacing or anything, and which is going to make sure everything is aligned towards the right. You know what, we don't even need to do that now. Let's just skip that completely. We're going to change the color over here because I don't like two dark sections, and we're going to make a white section now. Change this to dark or black, which is nice. Make sure this orange always is white because why not? And also, what is my title? My title is family recipes, so we're going to type out family recipes again. Family recipes, done. Auto width is going to make sure this guy has automatic width. Make sure the font size is 64 and align it perfectly in the center, and just remove this get started button as a whole because we don't need it anymore. Alright, the next thing that we're going to take care of is these sections. These are the sections of the different family recipes, and they are quite beautifully built. So at their very core, they just have a title and then they have the description. The font sizes for these are quite simple actually. The title has a font size of 18 pixels, the description has a font size of 14 pixels, and they're using the same shade of gray which we used in the title to just make things lighter and easier on the eyes in a world where so much contrast exists. So we're just going to go back here, change the font color to gray, the one we were using from the title, change the font size to 14 because this is the size for our description text, and make sure that you only have like 2 sentences over here. You can copy and paste, you can type this text out if you want. Savor the authentic taste of tacos made from recipes passed down through generations. Pause the video, type this out. I'm just going to copy and paste it because it makes life so much easier. This looks good, and also we've changed the line height spacing just to make things easier on the eyes. It's set to 160 now. We're just going to copy and paste once again the section and add a title to. This title is going to say generational flavors. So I'm just going to type out generational flavors now. Generational flavors. Alright, now we're going to change the font size to 18, which is great news. Change this guy to bold. You know what? Let's go even darker. I want to go black. I do want to go black. Let's change this to black. Change the font color to a deep shade of orange, the one that we're using on this site, and group these two together. Let's just group them together just so we can create one single box for them to add an auto layout on. Let's go right here, add an auto layout, click on layout, and oops, what happened? Add a little bit of spacing just so things are easier to look at. Also, we're going to add a little bit of border rounding, add a fill, change it to a light shade of orange, especially one from the colors that we've already used. Make sure the edges are quite rounded off. Let's do 24. This should make my life easier. And also go inside of our frame, add a little bit of spacing. Make sure there is a plenty of space at the top, plenty of space on the sides, because it's again quite important to make things easy on the eyes as well. And I'm just going to make this my standard component for all of my recipes, copy it and paste it here again. Now we're going to change this to a green version, which is again taken from the tacos. You can use your eyedropper tool. Atul says he's here after almost 3 weeks. I'm also here, Atul, after a really long time. We were on a short break due to unforeseen circumstances, but we are finally back, which is great news. And again, we're going to make one last section, copy and paste this here again. This is going to be our yellow section. I am super duper excited about this section as well, because of the bright shade that we're doing with the yellow. Alright, and with that we have the 3 different family recipes that we're going to be using. We need to add a little bit of space. Let's just ungroup these, because we need these to be grouped as one first. We need the recipes to be grouped as one first, just so we can use the true power of layout spacing and space them together as one. We can also expand them to have the exact same size and just place them directly beneath the family recipes. Group all of these together, and that's going to give me the main section that I need inside of this frame. With that, we have completed the weirdest part of this site, and now we are going to go to less weird parts. You know what? The weirdness continues. Let's do one final weird section. We're going to copy this, and this is where I'm going to flex all of the power that auto layout gives me. Super duper huge flex on my end. I'm just trying to put the words together. Alright, we have one final section, and just check this out, you guys. This is why I've recently fallen in love with auto layouts. Just you take this one section and you just put it on the other end, and boom, everything is just perfectly aligned. How cool is that? That happened due to the power of auto layout, and I will never stop praising it. I just learned this trick recently, and it's super duper fun. Now we're adding a testimonial section. This image is also present in the many images of our Discord group. If you haven't joined the Discord group yet, what in the world are you doing other than making me angry? And now we're just going to get a user feedback. The best tacos I've ever had, a true taste of home. Let's remove all of this crap because we don't need it anymore. You know what, let's just copy and paste this one more time, because we need 2 different texts. And I just want to add one feedback. If you don't really have this exact text, just type it out, pause the screen. The best tacos I've had, a true taste of home. I'm just going to paste it right here, and I'm going to start styling this up now. So the style that we're using for this is the font family Lato along with Playfair Display. Excellent combination. Why are you not working? Select this, change it to Lato, change this to regular, and also bring down the font size by a whole lot. Let's do 32. 32 looks good. Bring this over here, bring this right here, and also make sure to align everything in the center. Change the font line spacing to auto, because that just makes it easier on your eyes. And you know what, let's just keep on increasing it until we are happy. This looks much better. Oops, looks much better. The next thing that we're taking care of is the name of the person who has used it. This is going to be Maria Gonzalez, happy customer. Before I just put down any name, I want to show you guys something I found out really recently. This is super duper cool. If you go to the resources button and search for content reel, this is something I talked about in my latest video as well. If you haven't checked it out, do check it out. Just click on full name, and it's just going to generate one random name for you, Eleanor Pina. And we're going to put down happy customer. I know this is not very visible right now, but we're going to reduce the font size to, let's do 28. I was thinking about 28 in my head, just wasn't sure if I should say it yet. All right, now we have this going for us. I want to add a tilde in just to signify that this is by a customer. And now we're going to change this color to a bright shade of orange. Bring it to center alignment, and I think that should be good enough. That looks good. It is a little bit different from what we're usually doing, but I do think it's quite nice. All right, next thing we're going to do is group them together. So we can use the full powers of auto layout in just center aligning everything. Add a layout. And this, just check this out, you guys. This is why I'm such a fan of auto layout nowadays. You can just click on plus and it just perfectly aligns things in the center for you. And you can also very, very easily adjust the spacing over here. So this is why I'm such a fan of auto layout. This is why you should use it too. This is why I now remember I need to make a video on auto layout, but I'm just procrastinating. Now we're going to work on the third section. Third? Is it the third section? No, this is a really different section. This is the first section, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth. Now we're using the sixth section. Doubled the number already. Check it out. We've built out 6 sections in like 41 minutes, which is awesome. I want to reduce the height of this section, so I'm just going to go to this frame. Check this out, you guys. Super duper cool stuff. It automatically adjusts the image, crops it out for you. I am in love with all of the new changes Figma has recently done to their whole UI and internal workings as well. It's giving us really, really cool effects. And also I am creeped out a little bit by the weird frame numbers, but I'll just have to learn to live with them, I guess. Alright, we're going to go to the top, increase the frame height because we are adding 2 other sections to this. Go down to the bottom. I am really happy with the site that we currently are building. This is super duper cool. If you like what we're building today, drop a like. Say I love this in the chat box. Just say I in the chat box if you're too lazy to type, and I'll know you were here. All right, now we're building out our last section. I've just changed this to, let's do 720. 720 should take up the whole screen, should round everything out pretty well. Add a fill. Change this to orange, the lightest shade of orange that we have. And now we're building out this section, which is sign up now. I feel like this is a very good lesson as a UI designer because it talks about not only joining with Google, but also email and the main button. Adding a clause for agreeing to the terms and conditions and privacy policy, which is very, very standard stuff in all softwares now. So you are going to be designing stuff like this in a real world scenario. You do want to have an avatar image over here. So let's just get started with our card, and then we can get our avatar image and everything. Let's go inside. Click on, let's do a, should we do a rectangle? No, we'll do a frame instead. Let's do a frame. It doesn't really matter what size the frame is as long as it looks somewhat like what we're building out today. Add a border radius. This should make things pretty interesting. Put everything in the center. Make sure to change the height to, like, let's do 540. And you know what, we could do 525. That should make things easy as well. This looks good. And now we're going to add our avatar image. I believe we have that. Exactly, we do. Avatar, it is named as avatar, and we're just going to place this right here. Let's scale this big boy up to 111, and now we're going to change this to sign up now, which is awesome. Let's do a Playfair display font for this. Sign up now. Atul says, I really love your content, not only UI tutorials, but also to better my English. Thank you. That's a really nice compliment. I am truly honored by that. I feel like beyond a point, English will become natural and you won't know when it will. So you just have to sort of keep on listening and have the most open ear you can. This is truly the best way to learn English if you're just getting started or trying to improve as much as you can. Hearing as much as you can just forces your ear somewhat to adjust to this new environment, and that worked for me, worked for so many others. We're going to change the font to Lato now, change this to regular, and also let's reduce the font size. Let's do 18. 18 should look good. I always second guess myself, and it always is my first guess that works. All right, let's do regular, and we're going to change this to gray again, because I feel like it provides so much relief in a world where orange, black, white, so many colors of such huge contrast. It is nice to have a deep, simple gray working for you. The next thing that we're working with is continue with Google, and this is a very very easy thing to build out, but it looks daunting at first. So this is why I want you to see this, because this is very very standard nowadays. All right, so we're just going to go right here, go to creating a new frame, create a simple frame, add a fill, change this to a light shade of gray, or you can do a light shade of orange too, the one we were using previously. Let's do a light shade of some color, add a stroke, and you know what, let's do 0.5. Does Figma do points? I think it does. And we're going to change this to gray. You know what, let's change the fill to a really light shade of sort of white and gray, just because I think it'll look good. Add a border radius, and we're going to increase the height here. Increase the height. I think we should just reduce the width, center align everything, make sure everything is center aligned perfectly. Do we have a Google icon? Yes, we do. And these are all of the images that are present in the Discord group. If you haven't joined yet, make sure to join. Let's put this right here. Continue with Google is going to be the text that we're using here. I feel like we should make this a little bit thicker. You know what, this looks fine too. Let's reduce the font size a little bit and shift it up by a couple of pixels. This makes my job really easy. Copy and paste this. Change this to continue with Google and reduce the font size to, I believe, 12. Continue. With Google. Cool. Let's make this black because you want the user to focus on this intentionally. Change the font size to 14. 15 looks good. Change this to black. And now the next thing that we're taking care of is or. So this is the divider of the section. It does look complicated at first, but it's like the simplest thing ever. So do not panic at all. In fact, I think we should throw all of these in a simple auto layout, because we can keep on procrastinating for as long as we want, but that's just going to sort of make our jobs difficult. You know what, let's just align them in the center. What is going on with me today? Let's align this in the center. Shift this above by a couple of pixels. And now shift this above too. And now we're going to zoom in because this is the important stuff. Pay attention. Add a line here, add a line. You know what, let's add a single line here and copy and paste this on the other side too. Align this to be a perfect line. If you see the line becoming red, that means the line is quite straight, which is great news. Select both of these vectors at once. And oops, let's take all of these. Zoom in. What is going on with you? Weird lines. Alright, let's just place this right here, place this right here, and add an OR. And we're back. We're going to add an OR and place this right here. Shift it above by a couple of pixels. I want to reduce the font size by a whole lot just because this has to be quite small and dull and gray. Shift it above. Change this to a really dark shade of gray. This is a dark shade of gray that we've already used before, so you don't need to worry about what hex code do I use. This has to go to a light shade of gray. We've used a light shade of gray before as well, so you don't have to worry about the hex code again. Let's do this one more time and we're done. I feel like the most difficult part is already over because the most complicated part was just building out this OR thing, because it's just weird and mind-boggling for some reason. And now we're going to build out enter your email, your name, continue with email. This is just very, very simple stuff. It looks weird and complicated, but it truly isn't. We're just going to copy this button, paste it here again, put it right here, and we're going to do, what are we going to do? Your name. Remove this image, just delete it overall. We don't need it anymore. Your email. Align this to the left. Let's do this. This works well. Copy and paste it. Let's do continue, enter your email. Let's do or enter your email. Enter your email. Works. Let's put this right here and we're going to add your name. Why have we added your name? I feel like we should add your email. That seems to be a mistake. Anyways, we'll make this button now. I think I should just copy and paste this guy in the center because not a lot is really different. Change this fill to a deep shade of orange, remove our stroke and change this black to white. Perfect. Align this in the center. Make sure it's a little bit thicker or don't. It's fine either way. Let's do continue with email. Oops, continue with email. And now we're going to align this in the center 100% perfectly. Done. We're going to go to this weird box card thing and stretch it. Stretch this guy too, and we're going to add by continuing you agree to our terms of service and privacy policy. Again, I don't want to type this out because at this point I'm lazy and tired. You can just type this out if you want, and I'm just going to talk about how to style this. I also don't want to type it because it's going to take a lot of time and then we're just going to lose a ton of interest. So let's just go right here, place a text box. Oops. Copy text, paste here and match style. And now we just want to make sure the font size is reduced by a whole lot because this is sort of the hidden warning and you don't really want people to read it as the creator of this brand for some reason. Let's reduce the font size one more time because what's better than 11? 10. And we're going to make sure everything is perfectly aligned in the center. And to make that happen, I'm just going to stretch this out a little bit more. This works well. Shift it. And now we have a perfectly working sign up now button. This sign up now card. This looks genuinely good. Like I would publish this to production because there isn't a lot of things that we've really gone wrong with here. You can shift things around, adjust a couple of pixels, but that's pretty much it. I don't want to get into sort of meaningless pixel pushing at this point. The next thing that we're taking care of is actually the last thing because it is the footer, and this is the best part because I feel like footers are so important in what we're building these days and we just ignore them overall and then we don't have good footers. We're going to go to the base of everything and copy our logo. Now we're going to paste this logo over here because this is going to sort of highlight what brand we have, and then we're going to go to the top. This is the simplest way of building professional footers, by the way. Copy our tagline. The reason this is important is because this is the main line that you have for the brand. It's like the Nike tagline of Go Sports, or just is the Nike tagline Go Sports? I don't know. I think I just said whatever I wanted to here. All right, we're just having our tagline here, so we're just going to change the font back to Lato, change it to regular, and reduce the font size. But, and here's the fun part, you're going to make sure the font size is a little bit bigger than our title. I know this seems unconventional, but trust me, it works. Let's change this to Lato. Perfect. Changing it to regular and reducing the font size. I still feel like it's a little too much, but let's do 28. See if it works. Let's do 26. 26. Perfect. Let's put this over here, and now the next thing that we're taking care of is the address. You can add an address, you can add a contact. Why not? Let's add an address. I feel like I should just copy this at this point, because this is just plain text, and you can add it to. The font styling is going to be very, very similar, very, very same. Lato regular 12, line height is 160, and I'm just going to copy this now, because this can be your own business, or you can just type these out if you have the time. I feel like if I type this out, it's just going to take a really long time. And the next thing that we want to talk about is these links. These links are very important, because these are the main links you want the user to see when they reach the end of the site. The reason you want the user to see these links is because as soon as they reach the footer, they have lost interest in your site, but you don't want them to go out of your site. So you want something to be there, one last chance of reeling them in, giving them more places they want to go to after they've reached the end of this site, relevant stuff like that. All right. I feel like this is very, very simple in terms of font styling. I'm just going to create one example link. Let's do our oops, what did I do? Let's do menu highlights. What am I doing? Seriously, menu highlights. Menu highlights. Change things to 16. Lato regular 16. Let's do 160. This is the line height. This works perfectly. All right, now we're going to add a couple of others. Family specials, catering options, events. And before I do those, I'm just going to go right here, add a text style, footer link. The reason I'm making a text style here is because we're just going to be reusing them a whole bunch of times, and believe me, you're going to be thanking me later on. Family, what did it say? Family specials, catering options, family specials, copy paste, catering options. I am going to demonstrate why I made us add typography styles, because if you just want to change a lot of things at once for these very, very run-of-the-mill random links, it's actually the best thing ever. Let's click on control to select multiple things at once, and now we are going to put this right here. Works perfectly. And now we're going to add one more version of this guy. What do we call it? Join us, gift card, reviews, careers. Simple. Join us, gift cards. I come here live every single day, once again at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time. I know this has been long overdue. I know we just went on a weird break, but we are finally back. How cool is that? Careers done. All right, with that, we have our second group here as well. We'll take both of these, click on control, get both of these groups together and group them as one single group, because then we can use the layout spacing to just put them perfectly in the center. And now I'm going to share with you my easiest trick for making sure the spacing is on point without getting into the whole auto layout headache of spacings and perfect alignments in the center. This is 99 pixels on both sides, and as long as that is true for all of our text, you are fine with the spacing. You don't need to worry about it. Now we're going to go to the bottom, add one singular line which is going to separate all of this from 24 Taco Haven, all rights reserved, privacy policy, terms of service. This is going to intentionally have the smallest font size you can possibly do while making stuff readable, because this is like sort of those weird mutual fund warnings that you have when ending the site. You don't really want the user to see it from an aesthetic perspective. You just want this to be in terms of absolute need. let's go back to Windows plus, what do we call it? We call it punctuation full stop. Windows plus full stop, because my brains sometime 2024. What? Yeah, 2024 Taco Haven. As you can see, I have progressed to full blown forgetting things now. All right, all rights reserved. Done. We're going to make sure the font size, we'll remove that typography style now for this guy, and font size has to be the smallest we can do. Let's do 10. I was thinking of 9, but 10 looks good too. You know what, I might do 9. Let's do 10 for now, and then we can think about 9 later. Does this look good? No, it does not. Let's do 11. This looks even better. Auto width, perfect. Make them perfectly aligned. Make this perfectly aligned too. Perfect. The last two things we need to take care of are, what are they? Terms of service, privacy policy. Terms, don't worry if you don't get it perfect in one go. It doesn't need to be perfect. It just needs to come out of your creative brain. Terms of service, privacy policy. Done. And we're going to group them together as one single thing now, because that's what we do apparently. And we're just going to align them perfectly. Just make sure everything is perfectly aligned. Done. Check this out, you guys. How cool is this? And we're going to reduce the frame height now, just because we are done with the site finally. Now we're going to group them together, because now that we add an auto layout, everything will be perfectly center aligned, which I love. Let's do perfect center alignments for auto layouts. Works well. This is our super duper cool site, and before I go, I want to take care of why we added a footer link here. And now this is where things go very, very cool, you guys. Check this out. We added a text style, and now when I reduce the font size, this just reduces the font size for all of these guys at once. If I want to change the font thickness, that just changes the thickness for all of these guys at once, and it just does them so easily. You can change the line height, and that is going to shift things as well. You can change the font spacing between each font, and that is easy as well. This is again the easiest thing you can do, the most fun thing you can do. I am in complete love with the way these variables sort of work. Super duper important skill if you're getting into advanced UI design. Let's close off our previous examples, and I'm going to change this to TV. Weird. Why am I doing TV? I want to do MacBook Air prototypes. You know what, should we do MacBook Air or should we do tablets? We should do tablets, because that's what we started with in the beginning of this video. Android expanded works. Let's share this, copy this link, anyone can view. I'll share this with you guys as well, just so you can come here live and join us in the fun. Done. And now you can join me too, and I'm going to just present this now in front of everyone. Super duper cool stuff. Wait for the magic to happen. We are waiting. We are waiting. Why are you not working? Worked! Check this out, you guys. How cool is that? We just built out in like an hour or so the most awesome looking, and we've got a couple of people joining us on the UI as well, just checking this out. How cool is this? This is like the best hero sections I've worked on in a while. This navigation bar was super easy to build, super nice, super fun to look at. This mission statement has the perfect bright pop of color. This circle group for the hero section is not to mention the best thing ever. These are the perfect alternate black and white 1 and 2 image and text sort of sections, just the perfect ones ever. You can change this text if you like, but even if you don't, it just looks so good. The testimonial section adjusted the height a little bit, and the image changed along with it, which is awesome stuff. We learned how to build out an actual sign up component, which is quite important these days when you have Google sign up, email sign up, all sorts of sign up, as well as terms of service, privacy policy, disclaimers as well. And then we built out a very, very professional, very, very awesome looking footer, which is the gold standard of the community nowadays. So all in all, a great day of learning. I will see you tomorrow at 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time, as I will see you every single day now that we are back on the 100 Days of UI Design Challenge. This has been day 33, and believe me, it has been the most awesome day ever. Like, thank you so much, every single one of you, for joining me. All of these images are available in the Discord group. You can ask any question in the Discord group. Absolutely, I'm always there to join. And also, you can ask your questions there, which is awesome. Do subscribe, like this video, the common YouTuber stuff, and I will see you very, very soon.